Hello, my Teaserking family. Let's try this for the fourth time. Two pitches low and outside where I had no audio, and then I froze, and now I think I'm okay. Anyway, let's go back to gold. So we're at 27.86 and 33.74 silver. We got close. We got 27.89, getting close to 2,800. That'll happen tomorrow, I feel. The US, the 10 o'clock push was only a $10 push, then up. And then at 11, it went down, and then it never came down again. So we're looking for Asia to push it up. I'm reading a lot on Biden. They all want to get out of the dollar. I think they're a little bit afraid of the U.S., but I'm not sure. I don't think so, because Russia's at war with the U.S. and kicking their ass now. So I don't know that they're afraid of them. Some of the Middle East countries maybe are a little afraid of them, but when you got the big military, but you don't have any money to do it. And it dawned on me, we are now running the world with no money. It's totally paper. It's totally monopoly money is running the world. I don't know how you can run the world without real money, and how long you can get away with it, because they just keep printing this shit that's worthless, and they keep printing this shit that's basically worthless. So I don't know how you keep printing it. So you basically have no money in the world except for gold and silver, and yet people are, I got $1 billion. It's not dollars. It's not. You don't have any money. You just have her. When people wake up and understand that, there will be hell to pay. All right. So as I was talking, there was an interesting article I read the other day on Zimbabwe, our friends. And it goes something like this. Here is the Zimbabwe gold-backed currency. Yes, there it is, the ZiG. And so what Zimbabwe has said, and I will read it, ruling party passed a resolution to adopt the bullion-backed ZiG currency as the country's sole legal tender and phase out the use of U.S. dollars. So right now they've been having both, the ZiG and the other currency with U.S. dollars to buy goods and services. And now the government is ordered to expedite efforts to de-dollarize the economy and promote the use of the ZiG. So it's still been they've had it, but they still use the U.S. dollar. Now with all of Africa going to a gold-backed currency and BRICS going to a gold-backed currency, they ended the U.S. dollar. I love it. Bye-bye, dollar. All right. Football news. So in pros, we've got the New Orleans game. Derek Carr going against Bryce Young. Love it. We'll go through the quarterbacks. I haven't had a chance. I just working all day. I need to bring my file to work. I have plenty of time to work on it, but I don't have my file with me. So let's go through the line. Let's go through the pros first, and then we'll try to fill in the quarterbacks. So with that said, the JETSs are basically, let's call it 2 and 42 against Houston. It should be Rodgers against Stroud without a receiver. Who's the guy from Buffalo who came over? He's out, and the other guy's out. So both the receivers are out, which isn't stopping Tampa from scoring or San Francisco. You got to understand, pro receivers are fine. They can run the routes and catch the ball. And the way the defenses play, it's not too hard. All right. Miami, 6-49 to Buffalo. This should be Tag against Josh Allen. We know what Tag does in big games. He doesn't show up. We had Atlanta 2.5, 52 to Dallas. We got Dak against Cousins. New Orleans, Carolina, we got 7.5, 43.5. The amazing part is the line hasn't moved unless they knew Carr was going to start. The line was 7. So the announcement of Carr starting didn't move it. And the announcement of Young being the other starter hasn't moved it either, which is shocking. You'd think it would have moved. Cincinnati, 746.5. We've got Minshew going against our boy Joe Burrow. It's funny, I can picture him. I couldn't think of his name. Denver, Baltimore, this is your free play. Baltimore, 9.5, 46.5. And we've got Bo Nix against Lamar. Who's better there? You're damn right Bo Nix is better. We've got Washington and the Giants. We've got Washington, 3.5, 44. And we've got Daniels. He's not even listed now. He had a rib problem. Not even listed. He's fine. Going against Daniel Jones. Talk about a mismatch. Oh, my God. Daniels against Jones is like, what is Jones doing in the NFL? I really can't understand that. San Diego, 1.5, 43 against Cleveland. We've got Herbert going against Winston. You know, people look at Winston last week. They don't remember Winston from the last 5 years where he threw 5 touchdowns and 20 interceptions. Amazing how everybody thinks he's got. I heard one guy, well, now they've went and done what they should have done and started Winston. No, you shouldn't have started Winston. He was third string quarterback behind Thompson Robinson. He's no good. Tennessee, 3.5, 38 to New England. We're going to have Brissett, I believe, going against Rudolph. We'll have to check on that. Hey, Luke. What do you mean Bricks was weak? What are you talking about? They can't come out. The U.S. will nuke the whole BRICS countries, right? So wink, wink, we're coming out with gold-backed currency. And just look at all the central banks buying the gold, right? That's what you look at. They can't come out and say, hey, we're coming out with gold-backed currency, and then the U.S. kills everybody. They're like Herman Munster. They jump up and down, going, you can't. So BRICS was not weak. They're doing what they're going to do. Sometimes you just, you got a full house. You don't say it. You just kind of sit there quietly. I got a full house. That's all they're doing. They're just playing possum. So why does Russia have 20,000 tons of gold? Why does China have 60,000 tons of gold? What do you think they're planning on doing with it? So, no, they weren't weak. They just can't come out and say it. And they know there's not much time that the U.S. has left with $36 trillion in debt, printing money, paying off the interest. They got nothing. How much longer do we have? 6 months, maybe, at the most. It's not going to be pretty. Bank of America is ready to go under. A lot of banks ready to go under. The housing market sucks. You can't sell a house. As I was telling Alex, in Houston market, it's terrible. They're cutting a $350,000 house is now $250,000. But you're going to wait, Luke, because you're going to buy it with 2 ounces of gold, because it's going to go lower and lower and lower, and the gold's going to go higher and higher and higher. And you're going to say, well, look, this is the only money. Isn't that amazing that this world is going without money? There's no money in the world but gold and silver. All this bullshit monopoly money, this is worthless. How the fuck is the world operating with this as money and it's worthless? And I love all the billionaires. Yeah, you got a billion monopoly money, fellas. Uh, well, just relax, Luke. You can go buy more gold and silver. I started my job on Monday. It's going okay. There's always the getting comfortable, getting access to all the systems. I finally got my computer yesterday. I don't know why I started so quickly. You realize I interviewed Thursday, 3 to 4, and at 4:05 I had the job, and they wanted me to start Monday, and I'm like, I won't even have my computer. I didn't have my computer Monday. They did a rush job, and I got it yesterday, and they're in a hurry to get me up to speed because of, I don't know. It's kind of been broken out, and then I think there's a private equity firm probably wants to sell them or something. It won't bother me. Somebody will buy it, but it's crazy. So yeah, I don't know. It's like, yeah, whatever, just let me know. I still get unemployment for the rest of the year. You can make 23,000 or 22,300 or something like that. But I'm only going to get 9 paychecks. So that'll be under 20,000. So I can get my Social Security plus my paychecks, plus Titus and his charity. Titus hit $18,000 18 parlay and an 18 teaser on my picks. I was very excited for him. So I'm getting Titus money, and if we do it again, I'm hoping for more. A nice tip. But so anyway, I'll have money through the end of the year, which pays off Italy and some of the other stuff. Credit cards, we'll see what has to happen there because the money's gone. How do you pay off the credit cards? So just understand all the central banks buying gold, China buying 60,000 tons of it. What do you, he who has the gold makes the rules. So they're going to, as I showed you, Putin wants to have a diamond and precious metals exchange that are real, not this COMEX crap. That's what's coming also. So you're fine. Just get out of the dollar. All right. Thank you for asking, Luke. Bobby was on yesterday. So I'm inviting Titus, since he won 18 grand, he can pay for dinner. Wherever are we meeting in Tampa, Pittsburgh, or here? It doesn't matter to me. I'll fly wherever we need. Tennessee, 3.5, 38 to New England. I think I just did that. Yeah. Mason, Rudolph, and Brissett, possibly, probably. The others are injured. We'll see. Philly, 7.5, 46 to Jacksonville. I know it's Hurts against Lawrence. Lawrence sucks. Hurts is getting a little bit better. The Bears, Arizona is 144.5 to the Bears. I know this is Kyler Murray, and against our favorite villain, Caleb. Just Caleb. He's like Cher. He's Caleb. We don't know I don't even know his last name. Detroit, Green Bay. Detroit is 347.5. Golf is a little injured, but he will play. He rolled his ankle. And Green Bay, Love is saying he's going to play. He's not. He's still got the groin issue, but I guess I don't know how major it is that he's going to go out there. He's not going to miss the game, he said. So as long as he can scramble around, he'll be fine. The Rams, 1.5, 48.5 to Seattle. We got Stafford with our boys back, Cooper Kupp and Puka Nuka, which makes them very explosive. Against Seattle, we got Geno Smith, who sucks, and he's got Smith and Jeebus terrible. Lockett's fantastic, and then DK Metcalf. I can't believe they couldn't score because they didn't have DK Metcalf. What does that tell you? Terrible coach, terrible problem. Hey, Stephanie, how are you today? Good evening. Minnesota, 5.5, 46.5 to Indy. We've got Darnold, who all of a sudden is a NFL quarterback for some reason. Indy's going with Flacco, which I like better because I hate Richardson. So Richardson's going to sit on the bench. I don't know why Bryce Young is starting. What? So we can see how bad he is? I mean, like all of a sudden he's going to get better? He can't complete 10 passes in a game. The guy's terrible. At what point do you go, yeah, he sucks? Do you not see that? Or do you think we're all idiots and we can't see it? And KC, we got an 8.5 and 45.5. We got the Baker man against the superstar Mahomes. You know, they're making big deal about his interception. They're not his interceptions. The receivers are going the wrong way, and they're all new, and he can't get – all he's got is Kelsey. So he keeps getting new receivers who don't know what the fuck they're doing. That's what the interceptions are about, not Mahomes. He's too good for that. So anyway, I'll do my stats after. I have not had time to do them. I apologize. I will start posting tomorrow. Stroud against Rodgers. I don't know what to do with the JETSs. They're so bad. You don't have a coach. You don't have an offensive coordinator. You got Aaron Rodgers who throws the ball to the receiver and he can't catch it and it's intercepted. Let's blame Aaron Rodgers for hitting the guy in the hands. It's just tough. They're just not playing well. It's hard. I can't take them. I don't know. And I hate the Thursday night road team. I'll put in all our stats tomorrow. So we will go. I got probably 3 locks. The free pick is Denver. I got 1, 2, 3, probably 4 locks. And then I'll have a couple of very strong plays. So we'll go with that, but looks good. Waiting on a few injuries. And now, I can play the New Orleans game now that I know I got Carr going against Young. It's like Alabama going against, the Bears. What I think of the World Series, what you think of the World Series. Oh, okay. I'm so not into it. I was glad the Yankees won. I really don't like the Dodgers. I hate Ohtani because I don't get him. And, he gets thrown out sliding, so he fakes an injury. Oh, my shoulder. That's why I got thrown out. And what are they doing the way they're pitching to Freddie Freeman, who can't hit the ball? He can't. He's got, a pulled hamstring in there or something like that. It's like Kirk Gibson. Like, maybe don't throw him a fastball. Maybe throw him curveballs. Or maybe walk him. He's hot. So I really don't. I can't get into it. I can't get into baseball. It's too boring. It's too much stupid. Let's pitch the bullpen and so many bad pitchers. It's really hard to watch. I can't. I'll probably watch a little tonight, just curiosity, if I'm not watching the Munsters again. But I don't know. I'm not, it's 8:20. I'm not watching it. I'll watch it after class, but it's like the NBA. I can't watch that. I can't watch the baseball, just the football. And even that, I can only take so much because if you notice in football, every touchdown, there's a penalty. It's normally on the defense, so the touchdown counts. But if you notice, I'd say 9 out of 10 touchdowns, there's a flag. Just to throw in drama. And the other thing about the NFL is the guy will make the first down by a yard, and they mark him short just to set up the intrigue. Will they get the first down? And now, what is they don't call it the first down, they call it the line to gain. What is that? Some ridiculous socialist thing where they want to switch names around? It's the line to gain. No, it's the first fucking down. What are you talking about? And every time there's a replay, they go away for 5 minutes. This should take 5 seconds. Did he get it? Well, if you can't tell, just whatever is called. Well, no, we got to call New York and see which way the bet's going so we can fuck the call. All right. So NFL, I will get you everything. I'll do it tonight. It's a tough week with the new job, but anyway. College football, I lost with my Texas State. The quarterback got hurt, so be it. Liberty Jacksonville State. I liked the over in the game. I didn't play it. In Western Kentucky, I liked over Kennesaw State. Again, I didn't play it. I hate these Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday games in college. There's just not, and it's all Conference USA, which I'd very rarely play anyway. So anyway, let's go to tomorrow's game. Tulane's down to 14.5, 55.5 against Charlotte. And then we go to Friday. Connecticut still favored, 7.5, 48.5 to Georgia State. We got South Florida, 2.5, 49, down from 51. The Sharps betting the under. I don't know why. Is a 30 defense against the 28 defense. South Florida, 2.5 over Florida Atlantic. Boise, 23.5, 57.5 to San Diego State. Probably blow them out. Memphis. Okay, now we're on Saturday. The noon games. Memphis, 7.5. A lot of noon games. 7.5, 61.5. That line hasn't changed. Both explosive teams. Toledo, 8.5, 53.5 to Eastern Michigan. Northwestern favored on the road, 1.5, 46.5. NC State, 9.5, 10, 47 to Stanford. 3-0 Yankees. What's your take on the Penn State-Ohio State game? I like Ohio State there. Eller, the quarterback from Penn State's hurt. He'll probably play, but he's hurt. So what's he going to play, 75% against Ohio State? Ohio State lost to Oregon by a point. They struggled with Nebraska, probably thinking about Penn State. They usually beat Penn State. It's usually close at Penn State. But Penn State's got a very good team, but Ohio State, I think when you got them ready to play, last week they weren't ready. They had lost. They had a bye. They're thinking about Penn State. They didn't show up against Nebraska. Or the one lineman got hurt, and then Nebraska's got a good defensive front, was able to take advantage. So I don't know. But I think Ohio State, again, we're only laying 3 points, so you get 3. I don't see Penn State winning the game, which is basically what has to happen here. So I think Ohio State with the points wins. I think it's close, maybe 27-23, somewhere in that neighborhood. But, yeah, it's a tough one. Ohio State never gets to be the dog. I was going to load up on them against Oregon if they were the dog and they were made favorite. And I took the game over. And here, without Eller, I can't take the game over. But they don't have the Oregon offense. I'm going to enjoy watching Oregon dismantle Michigan. That's for sure. Anyway, here it is. Ohio State, Penn State. Ohio State 3.5 and 45 to Penn State. They're both 8 teams. 12 defense, Ohio State, 14 Penn State. Maybe we get a low-scoring game. I have to look at the Penn State defense. But Oregon's got a great defense. They got 31 on them. I can't imagine them not being in the 20s. 45, we need 39. Seems doable. Syracuse for Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech 4, 53.5. They're the B team. Syracuse the over team. Excuse me. Burning the candle at every end. Old Miss. Where's Old Miss? Old Miss 7 and 53.5. They got an 11 defense, and Arkansas with a 22. I don't like Arkansas's quarterback as a thrower. He's a good runner. They're both A teams. I don't know if you take Ark as the home dog or not. Hard call there. Go Army. Army is down to 21.5, 41.5 to the Air Force. Air Force is Z team, 27 defense. Army is the A team, 12 defense. Go Army. Beat Air Force. Beat Navy. Beat the Marines. Beat the Coast Guard. Whoever has a team. Akron, where are they? Buffalo, 1.5, 47.5 to Akron. Akron is now an E team because I looked at the last 5 games. Over the whole year, they're a Z, but the last 5, they're an E team. They've been scoring more, and their defense still sucks, but they're not the Z team, so we got to be careful because for them to beat Eastern Michigan didn't make sense. Minnesota, 345.5 to Illinois at Illinois. Illinois is a live dog here. They're both B teams. Good defenses. Miami, 20.5, 54.5. And, they're an A team. Duke's a B team. Duke's got a very good defense, and Malik Murphy's playing very well. Cam Ward, I don't know. I think they're figuring him out. Just play a 2-deep zone on him, and he's fucked. We'll see. Auburn 7-48 to Vandy. Vandy, what? They beat Alabama. Isn't that good enough for you? And then they should have beat Texas. They beat Kentucky. This is not a fluke team. This is a live dog in this game. UAB and Tulsa. UAB 3 and 57.5. They're both W teams with 38 defenses. App State and Old D. Old D 2.5, 60.5. App State's defense sucks this year. Joey Aguilar, very good quarterback. Old D seems to play good pass defense. All I can say, they beat Texas State. So they're an 18, 25 defense. App State's an over with the 36. Total of 60. I don't know if we can get there or not. Maybe. Big Nebraska, 6.5, down to 40 against UCLA. Nebraska is an under team with an 18 defense. UCLA is a W team with a 29. This is your free pick. Take Nebraska even or -0.5. I think the defense wins the game. UCLA, Garber looks terrible. Their defense looks terrible. Nothing about UCLA makes me think they can. If the game was at UCLA, it's a different story. Nothing here tells me that they're going to go in and have they don't have the defense to upset Nebraska. Nebraska played Ohio State very well, so look for Nebraska to bounce back. Kansas State and Houston. Kansas State, 13-46. Kansas State, awfully good team, A team, 21 defense. Houston, Donovan Smith stinks. They don't have a quarterback and a 22 defense. 272 yards of offense for Houston in the game. It's, but they got a great coach, so they'll keep the game competitive. Kansas State should win it, but be competitive. Luke, watching Garrett Cole pitching for the Yankees makes me cringe. He pitched for the Pirates, and they couldn't keep him because of money. The salary cap thing in baseball is as corrupt as the gold market. Yeah, it's a shame, because now the teams trade the guy before the guy goes free agency. No. If I own the gold, it's my gold. If I own the Picasso, it's my Picasso or the Rolex. It's not free. It's not the player. I don't understand this free agency shit. No. He's fine. Now, if you can't sign him to a contract, I don't like that the other teams can, because he's not the other team's property. He's theirs, just like gold's your property or silver. So I don't like it at all. Indiana, 7.5, 51.5 to Michigan State. Indiana's a great team. 18, 14 defense, 500 yards of offense. Michigan State's an under. Played shitty against Michigan last week, 21 defense. Childs is okay. Indiana, let's see if their quarterback's back this week. I'll check that out. Marshall, 10, down from 11, 47.5 to Lou Monroe. Lou Monroe is an under team, pretty good defense. Marshall's an over team, 26 defense. UCF, 6 and 56 to Arizona. Arizona's pretty weak this year. Fafita throws a lot of picks because he probably doesn't have good play calling, lousy coaching. UCF's been struggling, playing good teams. I think they'll explode here. 28 defense, Arizona, 27 for UCF at home. They've been playing good teams. They're in the Big 12. Kansas State, these BYU last week. So it's not like they're losing to weak teams. Speaking of that, we got Iowa State laying 13.5. 56 to Texas Tech. Iowa State, great team, 18, 14 defense. Rocco Breck, good quarterback, great coach, love the coach. Texas Tech over team with a 36 defense, have the runner and the passer, 427 yards. They just don't have a defense. So we'll see here. Iowa State should get the win. UTEP 3 and 51 to Middle Tennessee. They're both Z teams. What can I say? 36 defense, Middle Tennessee, 30 for UTEP. Georgia, Florida, the largest cocktail party in the world outside. Georgia, 16-52. I can still hear Keith Jackson calling the game. Florida is getting much better. Georgia, I don't know if they're getting better or not. Beck's good. Their defense kind of weak. They don't have a running attack, really. Not like they used to. I don't know. Where did their runners go? They all get hurt. Florida's starting to play much better than they did. So this is a big rivalry game. This is a big number to cover 16, I think. Michigan and Oregon. Oregon, 14.5, still 45.5. Get it before it goes up. They're the A team. Beat Ohio State at home. Go to Michigan, who does not have a quarterback. They're an under team. I think the quarterback retired. Michigan's Tuttle. I think he got hurt and can't play, so he's going to retire. He's going to be a coach, I think. Michigan with a 22 defense that I doubt's that good. Oregon with the 15. Michigan has to use trick plays on Michigan State. They win 24-17 there. They're not holding Oregon to 17. Oregon will be in the 30s. Michigan, I don't know how they score. They don't have a quarterback. Go Oregon, beat Navy. North Carolina, 2.5, 51 to Florida State. Florida State, I don't even think Ugly Bugly is playing. I think he broke his finger. He's still out. North Carolina, I can't see them as a road favorite. They're an over team, 28 defense. Florida State can't score. And they got 178 yards of offense. How the fuck? And then the 26 defense, because the defense probably gives up. My man Titus, good afternoon to you. How are you today, sir? So just going through the games. Again, in the Carolina New Orleans game, we got Derek Carr going against Bryce Young. So I hope you're betting New Orleans there in our 8-team teaser. Coastal Carolina, 4.5 to 53.5 to Troy. Troy stinks. Coastal Carolina is an over team with the 32 defense. 4.5, 53. New Mexico, where are you? 7.5, 61 to Wyoming. Mexico is a very explosive team, but they have a 40 defense. Wyoming's a Z team with a 30 defense. I would think New Mexico wins at home. but it's hard when you got a 40 defense. Navy and Rice. Where's my boys? Navy. Navy 11 down and 50.5. Go Navy. They're gonna kill them. They're gonna kill them. They're gonna kill them. They're gonna kill Rice. Rice is just not. They're not good this year, and Navy's outstanding. They're passing the ball all over the place. Old Mississippi State, 17.5, 59.5 to Mass. UMass's Z team, 30 defense. Mississippi State switched to Martin Van Buren, and they're starting to play a little bit more scoring with their 36 defense. So I think Mississippi State might win a game here. Arizona State is now up to 3 and 58.5 to Oak State. Oak State's the over team. 30 defense. Ollie Gordon's questionable, but he's all right. Bowman, he's okay. Arizona State's got the running back, Scipio or whatever his name is. And the quarterback, I think, is going to play. So they're 3. They're a good team this year, Arizona State, 23 defense. We'll see about how many points we get here. Fresno State, Mikey Keene, 13.5, 48.5. Mikey's been struggling, but should get a lot better against Hawaii. Although Hawaii does have a good defense. Don't discount it too much. Clemson, Louisville, Clemson, 10.5, 63 against Louisville. Clemson's been explosive after the Georgia game, and Louisville, lost to Notre Dame 31-24. And then they lost to, I think it was SMU. So they're a good team, though. Clemson playing well. This is a playoff type of game. Iowa, Wisconsin. Iowa 3, 40.5. Number went down from 42 to 41.5 to 40.5. This is not the same Iowa team or Wisconsin. They're both B teams with 19 defenses. I think this number is too low, though. I'm not going under 46 here. If anything, I'm going over 34. Iowa's got the runner. They're scoring, and Wisconsin's doesn't have that killer defense they normally have. So we'll see. A&M, 2.5, 44 to South Carolina, who's played very well. They played Alabama, I think, lost by 2 or something. A&M, all right, they beat Bobby's team last week at home, but are they going to go to South Carolina and kill them? I don't know. 18 defenses. A&M's an A team. South Carolina's a B team. South Alabama 6 and 60 to Georgia Southern. They're both over teams. Georgia Southern 31 defense. South Alabama 24. USC 2.5, 55.5 to Washington. Why is USC favored here? Game's in Washington. Tease the dog, babies. All right. Kentucky, Tennessee. Tennessee 16, 45.5. Tennessee's an 8 team with an 11 defense. Kentucky's an under team with a 20 defense. We will see there. Colorado State, 1.5, 45.5. They're both E teams. It's up to is Lewis, Nevada's quarterback, playing. He didn't play last week. We checked it. He's probable this week. So we like Nevada as a home dog with him. He's one of these running quarterbacks. He can throw it. They've been playing much better with him. Pitt and SMU 7.5, 58.5. This is a great game. A team against A team. Pitt, they got a good quarterback and 22 defense against 21 defense. Probably tease the dog. Baylor 3, 64.5. What can I say? Over versus over. You saw what we did last week, right? All right, so that is it. I'll have to do my normal check. Well, today's Wednesday. Gold 27.88, silver 33.80. So I've got 4 locks in college already posted. I have probably 4 locks in the pros, which I'm waiting about to pounce. They'll be posted tomorrow, I think. Oh, you're welcome, Stephanie. Just doing my teaching. Yeah, Titus is going to be on cloud 9 for at least a month. 18 grand is some serious shit for $100 bet. This is why we do teasers, because it's so easy. It's very hard if we try to do the game straight to pick the game, right? Look at our look at our free game. Nebraska 6.5 to UCLA. Okay, probably we'll take Nebraska there, but Nebraska even makes that a much stronger bet. Nebraska will win at home, and that's what the teaser does. It turns games that are losers into winners. We're worried about games that are fixed. They fix to the line, not to the teaser line. And you can pick a lot of games, especially with my theories of the overs and the unders. I mean, look at my lock overs last week. The TCU, Texas Tech, and Baylor, Oak State. Beautiful games. They both go over. But with the teaser, it helps. We needed 58 and 1. They got 68 points. It makes it a lot easier with the 6 points if you know what you're doing and you know which way to go. You got 4 ways: favorite, the dog, or the over, the under. And I've got it all down to a science, but I still have my gut instinct and my feel working for us. So I can feel the games and I can go after, and I know that's an over game. That's an under game. Take the dog, play. It's like Ohio State, Penn State. I have no idea about the total. The total is 45. I have no idea. In the Oregon game, I knew it was an over, and it was. This game, I don't know what Penn State, because of Allard. I can't really go over with the quarterback hurt. He'll play, but how long is he going to play for? And therefore, I think the prudent play is Ohio State, not even Penn State 9.5. So you look at it all 4 ways. Do I want Penn State 9.5? You're like, no, not with the quarterback hurt. And then do I go over 39? Not with the quarterback hurt. Do I go under 51? Probably, but I think the best way is Ohio. So you look at all 4 angles. And that's why it's easy to pick 8 games for Titus, but he's betting 100 to win 17,000. Sign me up. That's really where we can really take advantage. Now, can I go 8 for 8 every week? Probably not. But in the pros, I was 10-0 and 11-1. So, yeah, I probably in the pros can give you 8 games without too much sweat. I have no problem finding 8 to 10 pro games every week. You're either going over with them or under, and then you're going the dog or go against Carolina. Where's the weak teams? Jump on them. Where's the strong teams? If there's any, KC maybe, and take Joe Burrow over. And Baltimore over. That's the key to the pros, right? So we have our teams. We know what to do with them. And in the pros, the over-unders are so easy. They're like 42, 45, 46. All you need is 40, which is 21 to 20 gets you an over. We had Green Bay last week, 40, I think it was 41 or 42. The final was 37 to 20. They're going to score in the 50s, and all we need is 20, let's say 24-20. Gets you a W on the over. Well, you're going to get that with, Green Bay, with Baltimore, with Cincinnati, a lot of these good offensive teams. San Diego, Denver, you're probably going under. Washington's now very strong defense. The Bears, no quarterback and a good defense. So that's what you're looking. You figured out the teams. In college, it's a little bit more difficult because they change quarterbacks on you. Well, I know it's Steve Young and Carr, New Orleans, Carolina. I don't know what I got. Oh wait. Oh, yeah. Let's say USC changes quarterbacks. I don't know. Well, we're fucked because they'll go to the better guy, the guy from Vegas. Or Georgia Southern changes quarterbacks. We're fucked because you don't know it. You don't even know who the quarterback is. Penn State, what are they going to do with their quarterback? So that's what blows you out in college. Yesterday we lost because Texas State, the quarterback got hurt. Okay, where he sucked, I saw him. He split time with the other guy. Where did all the points go? We needed 53. They got like 30 something. It's like Texas State scores 45 points a game. Where were they? So that's why college is a little difficult. You don't even know the starter, and then they bring in the reliever, and you're like, or the backup, and you're like, I have no idea who this guy is. Anyway, we got a good 10 games. I got 4 locks in college. Pros, I'll have 4 locks, I think. I might have 6 locks. I don't know. I mean, it's you can just look at the game and look at the line, and there it is. It just jumps out at you. So I'm hoping for another 10-0 in the pros for you, Titus. But yeah, I mean, when I won all that money on the Florida State when they won the title, and I hit 25 teasers and 11 team and 10 team teasers, I was high for 6 months. I mean, it was like, and the best part is, see, you got it different. You only have one ticket to cash. I had a whole stack full of tickets. So I take 20 and I go cash them, and I take another 20 and go cash them. And the cashier's like, you can cash them all here. We won't 1099 you. I go, yeah, but I kind of like just cashing a bunch of tickets, getting a couple thousand here and a couple thousand there. That was just incredible. But that's what you live for. And that's why I say sometimes you've got the picks and sometimes you just don't. The wrong team's favored. You don't know what you got. The quarterback's injured, and it really affects, the bet on the game. Here we get Derek Carr back, and they're still going with Steve Young, and you're like, okay, thanks a lot. Andy Dalton is ready to go, and you're going with Steve Young? Are you out of your fucking minds? To do what? To prove what? That he sucks? We know he sucks. He's not going to do anything against New Orleans defense. New Orleans will play much better with Carr because they have a chance to win and they're going to score. Anyway, so that's what we have. Not as many games. There's like 10 less games in college this week for some reason. I don't know if it's the World Series game 7 would be Saturday. The election's next week. I can't wait for the election to be over to stop hearing these stupid commercials. Oh my! And nobody talks like it'd be like me coming out and say, "Well, that handicapper sucks." No. I'm going to tell you. Well, no, I'm 21-1 in the pros. That's what I can do for you. I can go 8-8 and win you 18 grand. That's what I can do for you. But they don't do that in the election. It's, well, Trump did this and Harris did that. And nobody's talking about what they're going to do, only about the other person. It's nauseating. And every fucking, 5 minutes, there's a commercial. And it's oh, no, if I got to see Kamala Harris again, I'm going to throw up. And I remember I'm at the hot tub. I says, I'm not voting. And then somehow they turned it into, oh, you're going to vote for Hitler or Stalin. And I go, well, I don't want to vote for a communist and Harris or a fascist and Trump. Well, I don't know if he's a fascist. He's a protectionist. I don't like either candidate. Why should I vote? Because, but that doesn't mean I would vote for Hitler and Stalin. Where do you get that from? I'm not a Nazi. What are you kidding me? I wouldn't vote for those idiots either. I mean, if I don't like the candidate, I don't want to vote. Nothing wrong with that. because I know there's big trouble, and it's all up to George Soros, who wins anyway. So it's nauseating. Um, Luke, they're pushing silver down, total corruption. Well, we know that. They're not really pushing it down. It is getting to 34. Um, they're trying to protect the dollar because they know if silver starts running, everybody will jump. And I don't know. They think they'll get out of the dollar. If you don't understand that the dollar's broke now, I don't know why would silver going to 100 make you dump the dollar? I mean, you're not dumping it now. You never will. Again, it's a buy. Just go buy it. Buy another 20 ounce. Well, you got so many. I wouldn't buy it if I were you. I'd buy quarter ounces of gold before that gets too expensive. But yeah, I mean, we know, but we understand it. We know it's COMEX. We know it's price fixed. So you can't be surprised about it. We know what we're getting into. And therefore it's a buy. It's a buy. It will get to 1,000, 2,000 an ounce because once it gets going, once people realize the Titanic's actually sinking, I mean, people on the Titanic, even though they hit the iceberg and the water is coming in, said, "Well, we can't sink. It's an unsinkable ship." So they smelled what the rock was cooking with that shit, and they thought they couldn't sink, and so they weren't going to the lifeboats, even though the water is rushing into the boat and the ship's going down. These idiots are still thinking, "Well, it's unsinkable," and that's the same thing. People just don't see the dollar sinking. And we're about this far left off the water, like so. The most of the dollar is underwater, right? So we're like this now. This is the Atlantic, and this is the people on top, and the people are it's the U.S. dollar. We can't go out. Yeah, I know what happened in Rome, but it can't happen here. We can't go out, even if we do print it to death. We can't go out. Just amazing, but that's how stupid people are. You can't have a $36 trillion debt and think your money's good. In what world is your money good? Who's going to buy your T-bills? Who the fuck wants them? So I just showed you, I don't know if you saw that with the Zimbabwe dollar. They were using $2. The Zimbabwe goldback and the U.S. was still buying goods and services. They are now killing the U.S. Africa's killing the U.S. You can see they're kicking out the French in the U.S. It's all going. It's just they can't say anything. They don't want to be responsible for the dollar collapsing. We're doing a good enough job collapsing it on our own. That's basically what's happening. So they know the dollar is collapsing, and they're just like, "Oh, well, we'll give it a few more months," and I give it 3-4 months, and it's gone. You can't keep paying $1 trillion with it. I was reading my notes today at work. I brought in my other my economic from school file. You know how I read my Austrian economics here? I have another notebook that's more public finance, and I was reading that there. And at the time, they were worried about the debt was like I don't know what it was, a trillion or two, and the deficits were pouring. Kept having deficits, and they were worried about it then. And it was just funny. It's like, well, shit. Now it's crazy. How it's staying afloat is beyond me because we are basically not using real dollars. The whole world is using counterfeit paper monopoly money. How is this working? This has no logic that it should be working. This is not. Why would I take this? Oh, I'm going to sell you my Rolex watch for 50,000 of these. Why? Why in God's name would I sell you the Rolex for this? Or the Montana card. Why would I sell you a PSA 10 $100,000 Montana card for this shit? You got to be nuts. Hold your assets. They will have gold value, but not the paper. Oh, I know what I wanted to show you. So I'm going to show you my eBay. So I was fishing around 2787 gold. We're getting to 28, damn it. I want to show you different markets. So here's a Jerry Rice card, 82,000. All right, PSA 10. Here's a Montana card, 80,000. Now remember, we saw that one for 125. But what I'm going to teach you now is there's multiple markets. Here's a Jerry Rice card for 110,000. Well, wait a minute, Howard, you just showed us 82. Yes, that's the point. There's more than one market for this. So you've got to understand. Look at this one, 145,000 for a Jerry Rice. 82, 110, 145. So don't get caught up on one price. Now, will this one go for 145? I doubt it. I mean, I'd rather buy the one for 82 than the one, because they're all PSA 10s. Then we get into the Montanas. There's two Montanas, 85,000, 99,000. I don't think these sold. But what I'm trying to explain to you is there's different markets. These are both markets. They're two different markets. But who the fuck wants 99,000 for the Montana card in this shit? I don't want it in this shit. I want it in gold or silver. Anyway. So let's check some prices. A half ounce Eagle is now going for $15.27. A 1 ounce Maple Leaf, $29.34. They're getting up there. Cougaran, $28.97, about $2,900 roughly. The 1/10 of an ounces that were $250 are now $312. Quarter ounces, $744 for a Cougaran, $785 for an Eagle. So for $40, gold is gold. Do I care what country it is? No. So I buy the cheaper one because I know at the end of the day, an ounce of gold is an ounce of gold. Doesn't matter if it's got a Cougaran on it, a Maple Leaf, or an Eagle. Half ounce Eagle, $15.18. That's 30. That's 3,000 for an out. Two of those. My Rolex Daytona, 513,000, holding strong. You don't see this going down. All right, 4 gold coins. 1 ounce, $29.50 for the Eagle. A 1/10 of an ounce Cougaran, $294. A quarter ounce Eagle. Look at the other one was $750, $770, $820 for the U.S. If you look at the difference, $820 for the U.S., $760 for the Maple Leaf. I'd buy the Maple Leaf in a heartbeat because it's still a quarter ounce of gold. I don't give a fuck. I don't care that it's an Eagle because at the end of the day, the quarter ounce will be the quarter ounce. And our boy Mickey's still 72,000 for the 68, and it's a PSA 9. If you can ever get this as a PSA 10, add at least 1 0 to the end of that. It'll be close to $1 million for a PSA 10. There can't be more than 15 of them. And then silver, 3703. The other thing I saw was the UK going bankrupt. They added taxes. They're starting to price fix beer and stuff, and they increased taxes and tariffs. They're gone. The one thing you don't do is add cost to a bad economy. That's how you ruin it. Price fixing ruins it because the people making the beer or whatever the product is won't make it anymore because they can't make profit. You only are in business because you make profit. This cost me $2. I sell it for $4. If you price fix it to $1, I don't make it because it cost me $2 and I can only sell it for $1. There's no reason I would make it. So you leave and you go to Switzerland. So that's what price fixing kills it. And that's all Kamala Harris talks about. I'll lower prices. You can't fucking lower prices. Only the market can lower prices, which is just what I showed you. Those are different markets. 3 Joe Montanas at way different prices. 3 Jerry Rices at way different prices. Ounces of gold at different prices. So there's no one fixed price per se. There's different markets. Art's prime example. You got a Picasso. You could sell it 10 different Picassos and come up with 10 different prices. Now, there's a ballpark. The Jerry Rice is about 100,000. I don't think the 145 is a little high. But again, if I'm him, I want gold. Or I'm going to sell it. I'm going to take the money and buy gold with it. I do have the Rice card. I don't know if it's a 10. The other thing is I wanted to share with you the difference between PSA 10 and CSA 10 or another. I saw the Montana like 90. No, there was a Lawrence Taylor card. His rookie was like 10,000 as a PSA 10, and as like a KSA 10 or a CSA 10, it was like 2,000. You got to get it PSA. So if you got it graded, like here, I got an Alex Rodriguez rookie card, but it's not PSA, it's pro. So I'm going to break this when I get players and take the card out, and I'll get it regraded because this is nothing. This is fucking worthless. Let's say I could get 10 grand for it if it was PSA 10. I'd maybe get 1 grand for it. This is a good rookie card, the foil. So I got to break it out. I bought this way back when. So I got to break it out and get it regraded to a PSA 10 if it's worth anything to get it regraded. So be careful if you get it. You got to get PSA 10. I don't know why. PSA 10's the magic grader, not these other ones. You would think if it's gem mint, it's gem mint, but apparently it's not. That's why we don't have to worry about gold being graded. Do not buy graded gold. The gold will take care of itself. Buy it and just dance away. I mean, that's the key to it. You'll be fine with the you'll be fine just buying the ounce of gold. And believe me, if the Maple Leaf is $50 cheaper than the Eagle, I own about 20 Maple Leaf ounces and about 20 Cougaran ounces and about 20 Eagle ounces. I don't, if you're going to give it to me for $50 cheaper, it's an ounce of gold. I'm going to take it. Okay, maybe, right now it's not worth as much, but when you can't find gold 6 months down the road and it's going for 15 grand an ounce, do I give a fuck if I lose $30 to $50 because it's a Maple Leaf versus an Eagle? Fuck no. If I have to, I'll go to Switzerland and sell it anyway. Well, Luke, we know everything's corrupt. Don't worry, silver will move. I guarantee it. Stephanie, everyone sign up for the picks with the professor. I bought the college and pro package. Let's go. You tell him, Stephanie. I want you to win 18, or you said you're going to win 27,000. I want you to win 27,000 this week. So play them and then use your gut and feel which ones, I always get stuck with a few losers. As much as I try to get rid of the losers and just go with the winners, there's always a few surprises. So anyway, stick with the Sunday games, the Saturday locks, the Sunday games, put them in a big 10-team teaser and go. And how Titus won was he put it in a straight bet. So in the teaser, he won like $1,100 in an 18 teaser. But in the straight bet without the teaser is where he made 17 grand, picking the same 8 games, but we didn't need the teaser for him. And again, we're going to do it again, Titus. We're going to come right back, especially in the pros, so fucking hot. But yeah, the college, a lot of these games should be fine. We will see. But I got about 10 circled, 4 locks already. I love the locks. Oh my God. The 2 locks I love, and then the 2 others, yeah. Very strong locks this week in college. Pros too. Pros should be good. Real good. Anyway, so that's what's happening with gold. People think that, so the guy I'm working with, we start talking gold, and he thinks gold's overvalued. And I go, based on what? Well, it's, this is his all time high. It's derivative, it's paper not. This is not physical gold. This is paper gold. How the fuck do you know what the real value of it is? You think the Joe Montana rookie's PSA 10 is 100,000? That gold should be less or more than that, right? See, but that's free market, the Montana card. And that's my point. Gold is not free market. So how can you call it overvalued? You're insane. And I tried to tell him it's price fixed. And then I even kind of joked with him going, I always go to that coin store. He went to the same coin store to buy some silver at some Indian holiday or something. And I went and I said, I always thank them for selling me physical gold at paper gold prices. And I always thank them, and they don't get it. And I just laugh and sing and dance to my car and go, Luke, I like gold eagles just because I live in the U.S. and the Constitution. Again, yes, but should you pay more for them than the gold maple leafs? Again, keep in mind the mission is to buy an ounce of gold. That's the mission, right? That's what we want to do is we're buying gold. And I like how people don't think that retail gold, they look at ETFs. Well, ETFs we know are not physical. Why would you buy into ETFs? Then I see the stock market going 42,000. I'm laughing my ass off. At work, there's a Bloomberg channel. So when I go get coffee or something in the lunchroom, there's the TV. And I said to myself, this is all a fucking Ponzi. This is the biggest Ponzi scheme I've ever seen. It's all for the election. Look at the stock market. It's at 42,000, and you think the economy's good. It's all bullshit. They're printing money and putting it into the stock market to keep it up. Same thing with Bitcoin. Oh, look, Bitcoin's at 71. It's all bullshit. November 6th, everything's dropping. Bank of America is going out. Other banks are in trouble. The housing market's in trouble. Stock market's about to crash, but everything's fine. Just vote. So anyway, it's just insane, and it's like I just laugh, going, these prices are ridiculous. There's some companies $120 a share, and you're like, this is an unbelievable circus. This is the biggest Ponzi scheme. They're trying to make you think this has value. And by putting it in the stocks, they're trying to make you think the stocks have value. It's such a scam. Madoff would be laughing his ass off because it's bullshit. It's all a magic trick. Don't believe any of it. Buy your gold, get the fuck out of dollars because they have no value. Lucas, people buy ETFs because they're strangle armed into keeping their money in the markets without penalty. Yeah, but I take the penalty. I don't know. I would sell some of my stocks to get out to buy gold because you're going to make so much money in gold. I see why you're moving it around to buy the gold stocks because you got to stay in stocks. So I get that. But basically, this is insanity. This is the problem, right? You're stuck in your 401k, another Ponzi scheme. Well, the company will match it. You know what I told them? I said, go fuck off. I don't want a 401k. I don't want any retirement money. I buy gold. That's all I want. I don't give a fuck, because what good is it to get the company match? And I got to be in stocks, which is going to collapse. And I would prefer the money in gold because I'm going to make 20 times the money in gold that I could ever make in the stocks before they go out. So I don't care about the company match. Now, if the company wants to match with gold, I'd be happy to do get my retirement. That's our retirement class. Buy gold, not dividend stocks or yields or bonds or annuities. No, no, no. You're in gold. That's the bottom line. You're in gold. Period. That's how you're going to retire because eventually the light comes on and the rats go in the corner, the cockroaches. Eventually, you can't just keep printing this. There's nowhere to go. I can't fold it anymore. But this is what you want because this is an asset, will keep value. It'll be valued in gold. And so you got to think of what will be valued in gold. Obviously, the paintings, the Rolexes, the Mantle cards, the Mahomes cards, gold and silver by themselves will be valued in its own thing. Bitcoin, it's worthless. So they try to sell it like, oh, it's 72,000, like you should start buying Bitcoin. So that's insane. Anyway, I think that's about it. So I got to do my pro homework. I'm going to do that right now, watching some of the World Series, or I can watch the Liberty Jacksonville State game, or the Western Kentucky Kennesaw State. I'd probably rather watch them than the World Series. Tomorrow, just one game, Tulane Charlotte. I'm not playing it. Tulane should win. We'll see. Friday, we got 3 games. No Big Ten game. San Diego State Boise's the strong game on Friday night, and then Saturday we go. Ohio State, Penn State. We got Louisville, Clemson. We've got Kansas State, Houston, Georgia, Florida, Oregon, Michigan, Indiana, Michigan State, Texas Tech, Iowa State. We got a bunch of good games. They're making Vandy a dog again. And then at night, Kentucky, Tennessee, TCU, Baylor, Pitt, SMU. So we got some good. Well, we don't have a 10 o'clock game. Those are 8 o'clock, and that's it. We'll actually be able to get to bed at a reasonable time on Saturday night. I hate going to sleep in the game, and I don't know if I want it. And I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning to pee or something, and I got to sit down. Okay, the game should be over by now. I'm going to check it. Although, ironically, in Italy, that Boise game that we won, I can't remember who they were playing. They were playing Hawaii, right? So it's on at midnight here, but it's on at 4 in the morning or 5 in the morning in Italy. So I get up and I'm eating breakfast, and it's 8 o'clock in the morning. The game's in the fourth quarter. They're still going, and it's 8 in the morning in Italy, and the game's come on, end already. I expected the game to be over. Anyway, so that's what's going on. We got to check the injuries. Be careful when playing. Check your injuries. Check your quarterback mostly. Penn State's quarterback. We got Bryce Young playing against Carr. Okay, we know what to do. We know Richardson's out, so we got Flacco because he's benched. So keep that in mind. As far as I know, Daniels had the rib, and now he's played, and he's fine. He's not even on the injured list. Perfect. And then we got to watch the other one. We got Jordan Love. Apparently, he's going to play against the Lions. Okay, great. I could use him. And then off we go. Burrow's playing. Mahomes is playing, so we're happy there. So really, that's what we. And then in Cleveland's with Winston. Why Baltimore didn't blitz him, I don't know. But if you think San Diego's not going to blitz Winston, you're out of your fucking minds. He won't throw for 1 touchdown against San Diego. They got that killer defense. Anyway, the ETFs are fake. They make you believe you own gold. They are terrible. You lose money in ETFs. They are not a good investment. They are not real gold. You're buying ETFs There's 1 ounce of gold, and 1,000 people have claim to it, thinking they own the ounce. Do not get into an ETF. If you have to buy the gold, the Newmont mining or whatever gold stock. And I was told, I was listening to some guy, and if you're going to buy it, you buy the big guy, the Newmont mining. You don't buy the little $2 silver stock and hope it goes up. You buy the big fellas, because that's where people are going to go. But again, it's all going to crash. It can't sustain. So anyway, England's going out. Germany's going out. It's all happening soon. So just, we know it is. It's just, they're trying to hold on, but they can't. And once the US dollar goes out, so does the West. And here comes the gold. So the gold's going up anyway. There's one thing that I think Egon said, or Alligator said. The central banks they want to keep buying, but they don't want to spike gold. So how I read that is, we're going to buy the gold slowly, so it's going to keep going up, but we don't want it to go from 2,800 to 3,800. So we're going to buy it very slowly. So it's doing what it's doing, 2,500, 2,600, 27. But if they really tore into it, it would go from 27 to 37. So keep that in mind. They're buying it to keep the price from not spiking too much. So that's the key. But wink, wink, we're going to keep buying. We want to get out of everybody hates the U.S. We're so corrupt here. We know we're corrupt. They all hate it. They're corrupt, the military. So once the dollar goes out, so goes the military. That's how the Romans ended. Their dollar went out. The army got paid in gold. They couldn't pay them. The army said, "See ya." And here came the Ottoman Empire came in and said, "Thanks, we'll take it." So that's how the Romans ended. They had no gold for their military, and the military died, and then they were gone. And that's what's going to happen here. We'll have no money, and there goes the military, and that's the end of it. So that's how we end. No military, because we can't afford it, because we don't have any money, because these idiots printed it to zero. And I don't know what Trump's going to do. If he's going to do another tariff act, he's going to fuck us again, like Smoot Harley caused the Depression. This will be nothing. This will end us if he comes in and does these tariffs, because it raises prices, which lowers production and lowers profits. People get laid off, and everybody's fucked if you're doing tariffs, as in 1929. Nobody learns from fucking history but us. All right. I'm exhausted. I got to do my football. Let's watch some baseball. Anyway, www.teaserking.com. Your free game. Take Nebraska even against UCLA, and take Denver plus 15.5 against Baltimore. I don't get that spread at all. The same Baltimore team that just lost to Cleveland. Yeah. Only Denver's got a real strong defense. All right. Anyway, www.teaserking.com, as Stephanie's saying, buy from the professor. Titus will back me up with his huge winning. And Titus, you just changed your life. You got 18 grand tax-free dollars. It's like you just won 26,000. So yeah, my feet wouldn't touch the ground for 6 months at least. Go enjoy it. Be very careful with it. You should buy some gold and silver with it. And then you'll double it again. That's how you want to turn 18 grand into 36 grand. Buy gold and silver, and then you'll double it again. All right. Have a good day, everybody. www.teaserking.com. Today's Wednesday. I'll see you tomorrow. I don't have to go to the grocery store, and I don't have to cook. So I'm hopefully, I would have been on a half hour earlier, but YouTube kept fucking up, and I went on and had to come back out. It didn't take. There's no sound. There's a pause. There's no, so it's crazy. Anyway, have a good day, everybody. You can get my email on teaserking.com on the homepage if you need to reach out to me, questions, comments, and go from there. Anyway, Have a good night, everybody. Feel good. Take care. Happy Halloween for you with kids tomorrow. All right. Take care.